Okay, so one of the features that I see here is tagging. I've heard of it. I've seen it done in meetings, but it hasn't really sunk in. All I know is that it's cool and I want to learn more. What can you share with us about this?
You're in for such a treat because this is my favorite tool on the Gospel Library app.
Okay.
I think some of my friends out there will relate to this, but when I was in Young Women's, our leaders would give us amazing quotes by the prophets or things that they'd found, and they'd give us little note cards or little papers, and I kept them all. But I had at home a file box, and I would try to put them in a file, but the trick was, which one do you put it under? Do you put it under prayer or under faith? And if I want it under both, I had to rewrite it, and it was a pain. This is the best file folder system you've ever had in your life. So, for example, this scripture that we're in, Matthew 7:7, ask and it shall be given you, seek and you shall find, knock and it shall be opened unto you. So I'm just going to ask you, Ben, if you were putting it under a topical guide, what would you put that scripture under?
Revelation.
Revelation. Okay, so I'm going to tap on my tag tool, and you're going to see these are tags that pull up that I've created already.
Okay.
And if you've made tags, your personal tags will pull up, but if you've never made
So I've
any,
never made one, so I'm
so
sitting
you have
blank
nothing
right here.
in yours. Okay, so what we're doing, it says add tag at the top, right? So we're going to type in Revelation. I'm going to press enter, and you'll see that it comes up as a blue highlighted section at the top. That means that you now have a tag that's called Revelation.
Okay.
Now, the cool thing is, unlike my file folder when I was a young woman, I can put this in as many files as I want. So I'm going to type in prayer. I already have one called prayer, so I'm just going to tap on that on my screen, and it adds it to that. So once I'm done tagging, and you can go back and add more or remove them or change them around if you want. But once we're done, we press save at the top of the screen. You'll notice that on the right side of your scripture now, there's a little tag icon. Do you see that? Mm-hmm. So that's one way you can get to it. Tap on that icon. Now in my footnote section, I've got all of those tags right there. Because they're highlighted in blue, that means I can link right to that tag. But let's go into prayer, because I know I have other things tagged as prayer. When I tap on the icon, this takes me right to my personal tag. Everything that I've ever tagged with the word prayer is here. So let's say Bishop comes to you Saturday night, all of his speakers got the flu, and no one can come to church on Sunday, and he needs Ben to come and speak first thing, 8 o'clock Sunday morning on the topic of prayer. Look at what you have ready to go.
I've already tagged all these scriptures about prayer, and they all pop right up.
And conference quotes and pieces from Liahona.
So I can go out of the scriptures if I'm reading a conference talk and say, oh, this reminds me of prayer. I want to put this in my prayer category.
Any of the content on the Gospel Library app.